You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. Well, as we begin November, no doubt many of you out there are thinking, this economy, it's a train wreck, and I don't know how I'm going to make it through this. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish my goals, and lots of other things. But do not despair. There is a new book coming out by J.D. Frost, The Life Ledger. And JD, you've no doubt encountered the same things in your life, but you managed to prevail, and you've got a number of successful businesses now. What are the top 3 pieces of advice, the top 3 suggestions you can make that you believe will help people get through these hard times?
Yeah, thank you, Kerry. I appreciate it. I'd say number one, the way that we spend our time every day is going to result in our finances. So how we spend our time is how we're going to be spending our money, and how intentional we are with our time is also going to be a leading indicator of our ability to gain wealth, especially during difficult times like this. So what we talk about in the book a lot is where are you spending your time during the day? And so we go through an exercise where you actually write down every 30 minutes what you're doing during the day, and if that is an asset activity or liability activity. So I am a CPA by trade, and so obviously determining the difference between assets and liabilities is very important as a part of looking at financial statements, but it's also important in looking at so where we're spending our time and knowing if that is an asset or liability to our overall goals is one of the first steps.
Okay, so time management, putting your time where it's going to get you the best return. Obviously, these are important things, but time management alone is not going to get you there, is it?
No, it's not. I also believe that writing down your goals every single day is going to get you there. There's only 1% of the population actually writes down their goals each and every day and reviews it. It's a study by Harvard that's out, that 1%. So you hear about all the time, at least a lot of our clients talk about wanting to be in the 1%. 1% in America means that you're making over $600,000 a year. In order to be in that 1%, I believe one of the main things you got to do is write your goals down every single day and review them every single day. That will get you into the 1%. That's part of where you're spending your time each and every day too.
Okay, so the top 1% family's got to earn $600K, right?
Yep.
All right. So you want to get into the top 1%, but you also want to stay there, right?
Yes. And the way to stay there is to have a system in place that's going to keep you there, that's going to keep you in that mindset. And part of that mindset is writing your goals down each day, understanding that simple task, these simple tasks that we do on a daily basis end up adding up over a long period of time and get you to that 1% better each and every day.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I like personally is if you got a goal and you know where you're heading, do 3 things to 5 things every day to make that goal happen. That's what's always worked for me. I got a list, and I don't necessarily start out the day knowing what those 3 things are, but I make sure on my list, I write them down after I've done them.
Yeah, sometimes I'll write it down just so I can check it off. I got that from my father. But yes, I mean, we call those a part of the Life Ledger book. We talk about the daily ledger. The daily ledger is a journal that I use each and every day. This one right here, where a part of that ledger is writing down your targets. What you're talking about, I would say, is targets, and targets are confirmation that goals are possible to achieve. So the target is a short-term daily confirmation that you can achieve that goal. So a lot of the targets that I had today, I like to at least have, as you were talking about, 2 or 3. 3 being, at least for me, is the minimum. I try not to go more than 5 to 7 because that just gets to be like way too much. At the beginning of the week, I'll write down all those things that I need to accomplish, but I'll peel off only about 5 to 7 at most each and every day in order to create that target list.
All right. I like it. Lists, write your list out every day. I think that's highly valuable for sure. What else? What else can I do? What else can you do that'll really turbocharge it and make it happen really fast?
Yeah. So the third thing to do is to figure out exactly what you want. So we spend a lot of our time thinking that we're busy rather than being productive or focused. Whenever somebody asks me, and I slip into this too, but they'll ask you, they'll be like, so how you doing? You're like, I am busy. Oh man, I'm busy. I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot going on. Knowing exactly what you want is going to enable you to filter to come up with your goals that you are writing down each and every. Identifying that very beginning and going through the exercise of writing out all of those things that you want out and then prioritizing them is, I believe, the third ingredient to creating financial freedom in your life, because then you know that you are actually pursuing what you want on a daily basis. You're doing the activity that's going to get you there. And that's a part of the system that I talk about in the Life Ledger, is using those goals, using that list that what you want as your filter for what your daily activity is, whether it's an asset or a liability. So, some people, depending on what they want, they might say that spending time with their family really isn't getting them what they want because they want $1 billion. Hanging out with their family might not get them there. For some people,
certainly not my family. But
for some people, hanging out with their family is wealth. So defining what wealth or your list of what you want is critically important.
Okay, I like it. So, they always say if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there, right?
Yep.
So as far as figuring out where you need to go, do you figure out, I want to make X amount of money and then the road will appear? Or do you have to think about how am I going to do that based on my skill set, based on the resources available to me, and based upon all those other factors?
Well, I think you got to think about all those factors. You've got to first define the list. What do you really want? And then do you have the vehicle? Are you in the vehicle to be able to make that happen? Are you spending the time necessary to be able to accomplish that goal? I think the word intentionality is just extremely important, and focus in order to create the wealth that you desire. Creating wealth isn't necessarily just money. It isn't necessarily just net worth. I think wealth is defined by all of us in a different way. And so that's why it's so critically important for us to do that. Then, in order to know if you're in the right vehicle, in order to answer all those different factors that you were just talking about, you got to get with somebody who's got the wealth that you want. You got to find somebody that has done it before you and use them as the filter of where's my focus supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be spending my time? So finding that mentor, if you want to call it a mentor, or just the people that you're hanging around, are they pursuing and want the same things that you do? Because they're going to rub off on you. They're going to be a resource for you.
Yeah, that old saying, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with most.
Yeah.
Like your income, all that, right?
Don't just survive, thrive. The Financial Survival Network.
Torque Resources is an exploration company establishing a portfolio of premier copper gold early stage projects in Chile. Torque's management and technical teams have a strong track record of raising capital, discovery, and monetization of exploration successes. The company's Margarita Copper Gold project is located within the prolific coastal Cordillera Belt in Chile, which hosts some of the world's largest and most profitable copper mines. The Margarita project possesses excellent discovery potential for a major copper discovery due to the strength of the alteration system, large-scale magnetic targets, and the presence of copper oxide mineralization. Drilling is anticipated to begin in Q3 of this year. Torque trades in Canada under TORQ and on the OTC under TRBMF. To learn more, go to torqueresources.com. That's torqueresources.com.
This is the Financial Survival Network, the information you need to thrive now more than ever.
Yeah, I get tired of hearing that. I get tired of saying it. But it's
Is it
really,
true though?
it's completely true. And I think that we as human beings make this a lot more complicated than it really is. We want to talk about how hard this is rather than do these simple steps on a daily basis that's required to make our own desires, our wealth definition.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I'm
So
with you on it.
the
So obviously, if you're hanging out
Yeah.
with losers,
the
you're
point of
gonna
the
be a
book is
loser,
to
right?
provide you with well,
Don't you think?
yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
it really
I mean,
true?
I don't like to hang out with people right now that don't write their goals down every day. Like, I don't want to be around. I mean, I'll help people that aren't doing that, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah. Do you actually have to physically write them down, or is it okay to look at what you've written in the past days?
Yeah. So, according to that Harvard study, 83% of people don't have goals. 3% have written it down at least once, and only 1% are writing it down every single day. So I think it depends on what you want. That's a great, CPA answer. It depends, right? Everybody hates that
Actually,
answer
that's
all
a
the time.
lawyer. That's a lawyer answer, and I am
Oh, Lord.
recovering
Okay, there
attorney.
you go. So, I mean, it really depends on what you want. If you want to be a part of the 1%, then I'd write it down every single day. If you want to be a part of the 3%, just do it once and then review it every day. I personally want to be a part of the 1%. So I write it down every day. I've done it since November of 2019.
Yeah, and how long did it take to for it to happen for you?
For me to reach my goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few of the goals that I wrote down in 2019, I achieved those within a year. Nothing has happened in less than a year for me. I believe that depending on the goal and the amount of action that you're taking and how many liability activities you have during the day, it could be anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, huh?
That's if you have really, really big goals.
Okay.
Most of us don't write down those big goals because we're afraid we won't achieve them. So we make something a little bit smaller that we kind of feel like we can achieve. We might have a possibility to achieve.
Okay. So what about the concept of affirmations?
Love
How do you feel about them?
affirmations. Yeah, that's a part of the daily ledger. That's in the book that we talk about. So the daily ledger is where I'm writing down affirmations and goals every single day. Affirmations, I believe, are essential in reaching your goals.
Okay. Well, I'm inclined to agree with you. And I find like I take a walk and repeat my affirmations for a good half hour. A few times a week works wonders, but that's what works for me. But the time thing, like people lose interest, you think, hey, it's not happening now. They got this law of attraction thing on their brains. What do you say to those people?
I know that in my own longer that I do a simple task every single day, the more consistent that my results become. So if it's not working, keep doing it. If you feel like it's never going to work, that's the sign to continue to pursue that.
Okay.
To do that daily action.
All right.
I believe after 90 days of doing that, you'll see why you'll keep doing it.
All right. So the book, where do we get it? How do you get it?
Amazon.
When is it coming out?
Amazon's the best place to get it. You can pre-order it right now, and it's called The Life Ledger: How to Build a System to Reach Your Goals, and it's coming out November 29th.
All right. You can promise me that you're going to send me a copy of it.
No, definitely.
Mine, and we'll have you back on when it comes, and we'll go one by one.
That would be. I would love to do that. I'm writing that down right now so I don't forget.
Okay, excellent. So the Life Ledger, and it's coming out actually 3 short weeks, and we're going to be sure to do it. And hey, what's the best website to find you at, JD?
Best website to find me is jdfrost.today.
jdfrost.today. All right, excellent. Hey, look, if you got a question for JD, then you should definitely send me an email. The address is kl@kerrylutz.com. And while you're at the site, financialsurvivalnetwork.com, you can click that link and get to JD's site And you can also sign up for our free newsletter. JD, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.